Hey, I'm Jeff.
I'm Rob.
Bart.
And thanks for tuning in to the Off-Road Toolbox. Here we are live at the Off-Road Toolbox World Headquarters in Daytona Beach. World Headquarters. We're worldwide. Now, if you're watching us at our official Jeep Beach page on YouTube. And that, Jeff, is?
At Jeep Beach Official.
That's right. That's right. You got it right. All right. We got to practice that. Now, for those of you who are listening to us, you can see us on that YouTube channel. For those of you watching us on that YouTube channel, you can listen to us on your
favorite place where you get your podcasts.
Favorite podcast platform. So, again, thanks for tuning in. You guys ready for the show?
Always, man.
Yep.
We're doing it.
It's now time for another episode of the Off-Road Toolbox. A Jeepers guide to everything off-road. Powered by Best Price Trailers.
Hey, guys. So what's up today there, Bart?
Well, we're doing a topic about taking your doors off on your Jeep. It sounds simple.
It sounds simple, but it could be a pain.
Oh, yes.
Especially putting them back on.
It's funny.
You know, even for the TJs, they were a little bit trying at first because the way you got to lift them and kind of make sure they're level, and even it was kind of the full size doors obviously are going to be a little bit more than the half doors.
Yes,
without doubt.
You know, but they're not. They're pretty simple. Other than that,
so
the TJs were pretty simple. I mean, you didn't have all the electronics in it.
Oh no, nothing like that. You don't have to unplug anything. Be
Nope.
careful unplugging the JKs or newer.
Yes.
That's for sure. Yeah.
So with a Jeep, one of the neat things about a Jeep versus your Prius is I can take my doors off. The top and doors off. That's what I liked about the Jeep and actually the original Jeep didn't even come with doors.
This is true.
Yeah.
It didn't come with doors, and then
Back in the day,
they added on canvas doors, metal frame canvas doors, and then canvas top. So since 1940, this is the way it's been.
Remember the Jeeps were, and I saw a picture on social media. The original Jeeps were in a crate,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
and there was no
That's
doors.
that's
no
how they were
doors. in the
shipped.
crate. They were
Doors, yeah.
basically nothing bigger than a golf cart at that time.
Yeah,
really.
And you put it together. I mean, it was just really interesting. And then, they added it for inclement weather. They added doors, and then in the civilian market, they added doors.
Yep. And then,
After the war, civilian market. So if you have a Jeep, the earlier models, of course, if you bought a restored military one, you'd be lucky to have a top. Otherwise, no doors. And then when you got into the CJ2As and everything, there were doors they added. People had made so that you could put doors on for the winter months, which made sense, or rain and things like that. Mm-hmm. And then you get into I've had two CJs, and both my CJs just had a pin.
yeah,
They had two pins.
Like I said, I looked on and I was researching that side of it, and I couldn't find anything.
No, they weren't. So one was I had a full steel door with a hard top, and the other one was all soft top and soft doors. And that one, the soft door one, didn't even have a lock. It was just a little handle. Little handle, so you couldn't lock the Jeep up. I had to get a special built little box for the very, very back. So if I had anything I wanted to lock in, it didn't get stolen, was that. So it was really easy, though, because you just opened the door and got it at the right angle, and you lifted it right off.
There was a cap on the TJs. Talking about the TJs?
No, on my CJ. I had a
CJ, YJs.
Yeah, I had my CJ. I had two CJ7s.
Okay.
So it was, those were pretty easy. And then my daughter has a TJ.
Yeah, you were saying that she has a nut.
That's all there is. Yeah.
She has a 10 millimeter. See, he's got a torque.
I got a torque on mine.
On the bottom?
Yep.
No kids. See, you know why they changed that? Because they did come up with a solution for the ones that had the nut.
Yep.
You can get the locking nuts or whatever they had, because you can take the doors right off.
Yes.
With mine's simple. I don't even put the nut back on.
Yeah.
I just drop them on and I'm done with it. It's a half door. And so it's easy on, easy off. But, yeah, you can screw with your hand, tighten it up, and it'll be fine.
Yes.
That's why you've got the ones, the later years.
06.
In 06, yeah. So you had the one that you had to use the Torx.
Torx, yeah. Number 40 Torx is what gets mine off.
Okay. And you just have the door strap.
Yep.
That's the door strap, yes.
There's
door
no
strap.
electronics in the door.
The nice thing with the TJ is if with the door strap comes off and the wind caught it and it opened all the way up, you wouldn't dent your hood cowling.
Oh, yeah.
You just
No.
You won't.
No, I agree.
You won't. Now, on a TJ,
on a TJ.
oh, you're going to get a little dimple.
Oh, well, sure, you're going to get something. But now they also make aftermarket product where it's almost a shock. They have like a metal.
Yes.
It collapses. It's almost so it will open and then close easy. It won't,
Yes, but
it's
when
just
people
an aftermarket thing.
when people go to take their doors off, though, if you take that strap off and a gust of wind gets it, or you open it up too far, you're going to have a dent. You're going to have a dent in your hood cowl. So,
But it's easy to fix.
no, if you go to a shop to do it, they charge you $600 to fix a dent.
Sounds like your daughter found that out the hard way.
The dent? No,
No?
I found out. Well, it'll be our tool of the day. I'll
Oh,
tell you.
you're going to be the tool of the day? All right, we'll pause it there.
Well, it's a double tool of the day.
Okay.
So yes,
My goodness.
yes. So because of the mirror, the way the
Right.
mirror
The mirror
is, when the
sets
door comes
lower
out.
on the door.
Right.
So
No more. Come on. That's your tool
oh
of the day.
no. So
Okay.
when you go to do this, so for
Don't do it on a windy day.
No, but-
whether it's a TJ, a YJ,
Yep.
CJ, XJ,
Yep.
all that stuff.
the so when you go to take your doors off, you have your windows up or down.
You want them down.
I've seen people do it with the windows up. I'm like, why?
Why?
You
You're
put it
killing
down.
yourself.
Yes, put it down because you can reach through and do it. So what you're going to do is on the JKs and up, you're going to have now on the TJ when you take a strap off and do it, your dome light's going to stay on unless you get the aftermarket spring
The
clip.
spring clip, yes.
Or-
pull the fuse.
Pull a fuse. Those are the two.
I had both. I did the spring clip and I pulled the fuse on my current Jeep, the one that I've
Yes.
had for years. so.
Actually, you can use a Mercedes door switch and wire it into the TJ. Whenever you open the door, take it off, you pull the little plunger
and the
out,
plunger will come
and
out.
it turns everything off.
Look at that.
That'll be in our show notes.
Yes, and that's good, and that's a good feature. So with the TJ, it's pretty easy. But then when you go to the JK, you've got that wiring harness.
That's not a good
Yes.
So you've got so yes. So with the wiring harness, and if you've got a 4-door, it's
Well, now
Go
before
ahead.
you start, before you continue on again,
Yes.
we're talking about the JKs that have the electric windows. Now,
Yes.
you can still get the models without that, right? Without
Yes.
having electric
Roll-up windows, yes,
You can
yes.
just roll up windows.
Yes.
Now, do you still have a wire harness
for the dome
even-
light.
Oh, really? So
And
they
you're-
don't
and-
have a. They don't have.
There's a plunger in the door jamb.
Okay, but there's no.
But you still have a wiring harness because you're going to have dome light and you're going to have open door, and it's going to let you know open door with the ignition where it
geez,
digs.
so you're still going to have that.
You're going to have
have
still
that
some wiring
Okay.
with the JK.
Okay.
So we'll get back to with the TJ is you're going to take off your torque bit or your nut. You're going to take off your strap. You're going to put your window down, and you're going to reach around. You're going to find the right angle because sometimes you have to lubricate them first to lift them straight up.
Let them, use a PB blaster or something
Anything
that short,
and anything
and
that.
let it sit overnight.
If you do it enough, they come out pretty simple.
Yes.
If you don't, then the pins swell or get corrosion or get crud or salt and sand and mud in there, and they're harder to get off.
Yes, they are. You have to use a jack almost.
And there's other tools you can use. There's doors lifts and there's jacks and there's actually the plywood sheetrock tool.
What is that?
You get it at Lowe's. It's for plywood or sheetrock.
Okay.
To carry it instead of trying to reach down and
Reach-
Oh yeah. Okay.
So you would put this underneath, and you could go through the window, put it underneath, and lift. It helps you lift it up.
Okay.
So you're not putting all that stress on the armrest, especially on the TJ because you have a strap for an armrest
Yep.
versus the plastic or the molded plastic on the J case. So again, it's just another little tool to help you lift it and get the right angles. So lubricate, find the right angles, lift it up. There are people, if you're going to use a floor jack or type of a jack, I would put a board.
very carefully.
I would put a long 2x4, so I'm going up against, I'm spreading that surface out. I would try to do anything not you. And again, between the TJ and the JK, I've had them where they've been pretty much bound up.
Yes.
But lubricating a little
back and forth, up
back and
down,
forth,
jiggling.
even using a rubber mallet and tapping to get things loosened up. Right, and you have to find sometimes the sweet spot. You got to swing it open, find the little sweet spot, and then it'll come up. Yeah.
Now with the JK, now I know the new ones, the JLs and the which I keep forgetting all these
JTs.
the
Yep.
JTs, JLs. They have little pins that when you're unattaching, when you're taking them out, and you've got to be very, very careful because they will bend.
Yes.
And even if you don't think they bend, they still do. And
Oh,
I've
in the
talked
wire-
to some
in the
in the
wiring
wiring
harness.
harness.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've talked to some mechanics. One specifically said, "Yeah." He goes, "Man," he goes, "If you do, just nick it somehow, bend it,
Yes,
or even
yes.
break it because they're so little, all your
Yes.
dashboard will light up
Yep.
with a bunch of different lights
So
because of that."
within that coupler, is a male and female coupler in the wiring harness. You should have a red safety tab that you got to disengage first, and then you should grab both parts of the male female. There should be a little detent or a little another where you push down. You need to hold both the pieces of the plastic and pull it straight as you can.
Again,
just so you don't, and then when you go to reinsert it, go slow.
Yes, putting them back in is the issue.
Go real slow, line everything up, and then again, make sure you push it in slow until you hear the clicks, and then you re-engage the red safety.
I have noticed, like in my 06, when I took the dash out, the harness went together, but it had a latch. So you basically just took it and just touched it up to it, got it on the latch, and let the latch pull it in. I don't know if like my JT, I haven't had to dig into any of that to see. But I got a funny feeling that's going to be the same thing that we have on the JTs and the JLs.
Now, they're remodeling the new Jeep soon, next couple of years before the new remodel comes out. Now, you got to wonder if they will maybe change that, where the wiring harness isn't in the door. Perhaps they can somehow, I don't know how they could do it, but maybe there's some other way to do it. That would be one thing they could probably change for the better if they could do it.
And never pull by the wires. Always pull by the
coupler itself.
The male female coupler. So on the back side, on the front it's exposed on the front doors, and on the back doors, mine are hidden in the B pillar. So in the B pillar, I have a trap door.
What's the B pillar?
So your windshield is your A pillar on the front of the car. Right behind your driver's door to the passenger door would be your B pillar.
That's the B pillar. Okay, and the middle part. Okay.
And then the next one will be a C, and it could be a D, depends on your vehicle. What do you have for pillars on your car? Right. So the B pillar is the center one in between the two doors.
Okay.
And there'll be a little plastic trap door. You got to pull it out. And inside of there will be that wiring harness, and it's a little harder to work because you have to get your hands in there.
Okay.
And that wire from the door feeds through the plastic, and it plugs in. But again, take your time. If you have to use a little headlamp, use a little headlamp so you can see what you're doing and get everything lined up and pull it out.
Easier thing too is push that seat all the way forward.
Yeah, a very good point. Yes.
I mean, it gives you a little bit more room to work instead of trying to.
Yes, good point.
I got fat hands, so.
And again, those are torque bits. Both of the JKs and JLs are going to be torque bits.
They're 50s, I believe.
Yeah, T50.
Yep.
Yes. So I noticed you've got some pictures.
So again,
what do you do with the doors when you take them off?
Well, when you do it, where are you going to store them?
Yeah.
So are you going to store them in your garage? So if you're going to store them on concrete, if I'm going to put those down, I'm putting a towel down, rags down.
Furniture blanket. Harbor Freight furniture blanket, $5.
Yes. Something to protect the bottom of the door is I'm going to do it. So we get back to or racks, or people have hangers in their garage. Yep. So when you get them off. The other part, we kind of jumped the gun, is what happens if you can't lift it off and your little plastic, this didn't work. They do make door lifts now. They make specialized door lifts.
Yeah, from Amazon.
And from everywhere. From Amazon, from, all of our four-wheel parts people, all those things. Yeah, Amazon one. You're showing that one. That one's $300. And that's a hand crank one. You put it underneath your door and you lift it up. So maybe if you're elderly or you're not strong, I'm not picking on females, but I'm saying there's a group of people that it would take two. It would take two people, or if you're not by yourself. And again, I'm not tossing weights around like I used to when I was younger. I mean, I feel these doors now like before, I just rip everything off. So these lifts aren't bad, and I like them. I mean, they're from $1,000 to from $1,000 to $15 for the handheld. For the handheld, but these other ones actually are mechanical. They have some way of lifting the door up
and not damaging
the door. And then on some of them, you can wheel them over to where you're going to store them, which is just good. I mean, it's a Jeep and everything costs money, but if you need it, get the right tool. Again, that might be one. Again, like I said, they're from $1,000, $700 to $15. But if I couldn't do, that one there is expensive.
I'm going to use the old adage, work smarter.
Hang on a second. I'm trying to get this lined up in the camera.
Yeah, that little one, that's actually, it takes off the hardtop and doors. So that's like a dual purpose remover, because if you want to take off your hardtop, you take it off and then you set your hardtop wherever you're going to do it, and then it comes back and has an attachment. So the door the tool to take the top off is $949, and then the attachment for the doors is $169. And then the other one that you saw was $749, and that is specifically for doors only. And the same one from the Amazon door lift, that's $300, $298. Again, the size of these are where you're going to store them in your garage. You have a place to store them.
Exactly.
Those type, you have to, when you're doing this big picture wise, or do you just call your friends over and take your doors off?
So now the question I have for both of you guys, I guess to start with you, Jeff.
All right.
What do you use when you take your doors off? How do you do it? What do you have?
I lift my TJ off.
Yes.
By myself.
And where do you store them?
Where do I store them?
Yeah.
I actually have built a Harbor Freight dolly.
Okay.
That has stanchions on it
Okay.
that they sit right there. I've
So
only
you
got
your
two.
Own. Yeah, you made your own because two-door, TJ.
Yeah, it's not hard. I mean, it's not hard to do it. You just got to think it through and make sure it's stable.
Now, I have the TJ too, the half doors. For me, I just have a carpet, and I take the doors off, and I set them on the carpet and lean them against a. If I don't have something nice to lean it against, I'll have the what is it, a blanket?
Yep.
Right.
Put that on the other side, so I just make sure it's all nice, But other times I've used cardboard. On
without
the bottom,
doubt. I mean,
and just set them on an old Amazon box.
Yep.
And break that cardboard up, and it's always good to use those things for that.
You just want something that's soft that's not going to cause a dent or cause a scrape on the paint.
Exactly.
It'll chip the paint really easy.
Oh yeah, you're not kidding. I've had my other Jeep, same thing. Now, Bart, what do you use?
Well, okay, I've had this Jeep for a while, so I had the hardtop remover before with the rack like you did. So when I bought it,
Right.
and then the wife goes, "I don't like your hardtop," so we sold the hardtop and the whole thing. So now I'm back to, I lift it off myself and I store them on the side of the garage, behind the fence, and I have carpet or big old shop rags, big towels, and then I put them on just to protect them.
So you just kind of lean them against the house?
Lean them against the house. Yep. Behind the lock gate. And then we go out and drive them, and go back. There is a plastic insert on the JKs, and that's an anti-rattle. It's inside, and those will wear out.
Okay.
So clean those up. Again, before you, after you take your doors off, I would clean the pins, and I would clean the hinges.
And
clean them all out.
I know for the hinges, I know on the TJ, I believe, and Jeff, I think you might be able to answer this even best. I think they have like inserts.
There's an insert in there that you can actually take out and put, what is it called? DENLIER or something like that goes in there. It makes that joint tighter again.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier to have those pins come out because the corrosion won't cause it to stop.
Okay. Yep. And that's again on TJ.
Yep, that's on the TJ.
Now I don't know. I'm sure they have something.
I have a
similar
plastic
for
insert on my
Okay.
on my JK.
JK, and I'm sure TJ's got the new LJs and the LJ, the JLs and the JTs.
And that polymer plastic is just one for ease, anti-rattle, and to make it smoother.
Exactly.
Smoother operation.
Nice.
So I think it's that time of the day, though.
Is it?
I do.
Well, yeah. So I guess we'll just start this back up again. No. This is you are the two.
Oh,
one of the
there's two of them. There's two of them,
and one will be you.
One will be me. One will be me. So are we ready?
We're ready.
Hey, you see that idiot?
What the hell are you doing?
What are you doing?
What you think you're doing, you stupid idiot?
It's the Off-Road Toolbox Tool of the Day.
Are you some kind of moron?
So I went to have some AC work done, and whatever it was behind, I don't know if it was whatever's behind the dash on the JKs.
You got the coil behind the.
So that had to be replaced, and so it was an air conditioning shop that's been around in the Daytona Beach area probably since the 60s. It's been around for a long time. The city used them. I used them. So they had to, again, they go through mechanics. So they had to pull my dash apart. So when the mechanic, because of the straps, at first he tried to open the door and didn't do it. And then he took the strap off and forced the doors open and dented both cowlings.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy.
So then the door was still in his way, so he took the doors off and set them down and chipped the bottom of them. And then he couldn't get the dash off, so he used a pry bar to pry.
What?
So it was a mess. It was a very costly. When I got there, when I go to look at my Jeep, and I was like, where are all these dents from? Why is this bent? Why is my hood cowling? I said, you opened the door and took the straps off, you bent the hood cowling, right? So long stories, we get it all fixed. Now, 3 months later, I go to take the doors off on a nice, beautiful day here. Wind caught it.
Oh.
And I dented one of those. And I had no dent.
You did the same thing.
Well, the wind caught it and got it. I'm like, ugh. So, yes, I have a little dimple.
And that's on your JK.
That's on my JK. So, yes, it can happen. Those straps, watch it. Make sure people know what they're doing. So, yeah, but it cost that air conditioner. Sorry to say, I used them for years and years and years. And after that, I just, they paid for all the damages, but it was still tied up for a while to get it all corrected and fixed.
Enough to give you a bad taste to not want to go back.
Not to go back, yeah. And then the mechanic got mad at me. And I'm like,
oh, really?
So the mechanic gave me an attitude, and I said, sir, I'm not going to argue with you. I know the owner. I went to him. I'm like, hey, I don't know if you remember. He goes, oh, yeah, I remember you from when you worked at Daytona. I'm like, come look at my Jeep. And here your guy just gave me a whole bunch of attitude. He looked at the Jeep, and he goes, well, after we fix it, he won't be here anymore. And he actually ended up costing the guy his job.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there was probably, between paint and material and everything, probably $1,500 in damage.
Easily.
A lot of work.
That was back then. Now.
Yeah.
It was how many years ago was that?
About 5 or 6 years ago.
Oh, boy, you could tell that's going to be a little bit more money nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Double it.
So, yes. So
now here's the question.
Yes.
What should they learn from this?
Don't take your straps off till you're ready to remove your door.
Good point.
That should be the last thing.
And you have a hold of the door. You holding the door.
Yeah.
And get ready. And then just take it off. So, yes.
All right.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right, guys. We appreciate y'all tuning in to us, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
And there you have it. Don't you feel smarter now? We'll drop more knowledge on you soon. Thanks for listening to the Off-Road Toolbox. Powered by Best Price Trailers.